Hi, you guys, and Happy New Year. I feel like I haven't seen you since. But I remember I made a video before. But, so I've got your suggestions when I asked what you guys want me to make some videos about. And I guess this is a kind of story time. Someone said more gay story times. But this is more advice and just general life advice, to be honest. So a few years ago, I did a video about my sister disowning me because she found out I was gay, and we haven't spoken up until that point for a good couple of years, because that it's been years now. I haven't spoken to her since 2012, since she found out. And a couple weeks ago, so my dad, um she's my older sister from my dad's side, if you guys don't know. And if you guys don't know, again, yes, my dad's Nigerian. So she's fully Nigerian. And long story cut short, I've got this new subscribers since that video. Long story cut short, basically, I have an older sister, yeah? I think you gather that. We didn't grow up together. I found out about her in the early 2000s, and the point that she came, I think that was probably my third time ever meeting her. And my dad said that we should show her around. So me and my friend, we took her to Westfield. And you know what? It was so funny because when we was in Westfield's a shopping centre. When we was in Westfield, I had this feeling like I wanted to tell her about my sexuality. There was a moment where it went through my head. I was like, should I say it? And I was like, no. So, at the night time, we went to this local Afro beats club. It's called Thatch House, and my ex happened to be there, which happened at my time was my first ever boyfriend, so that was my ex. And it didn't really end on a good note, but he was there. And I just remember saying to my friend, should I say something? She was like, yeah, just say hello to him so he doesn't have to come up to us. I was like, cool. He knew instantly who she was. So he was like, oh, that's your sister. And I was like, how do you know? He goes, oh, yeah, I know you. Ugh, God, thinking about him just gives me, oh, oh, God, it's so annoying. And some background info, he was DL apparently. And, well, yeah, he was DL down low. So no one knew, which he thinks. And yeah, so we was on the dance floor dancing, whatever, what have you not. And he just started making a scene from early on, smashing the glass on the floor, trying to get my attention, speaking to me, pulling me aside. I just didn't understand what he was doing. And then I just remember him going up to her, and I felt like the world was moving in slow motion, and that was him telling her about us. And I wasn't out. I never came out. I just lived my life. So I know my parents knew or had some ideas, but I never thought it was, I just never felt the need to come out at that point. I knew I wanted to do it, but every time I said I wanted to do it, I wanted to do it properly, like be with someone, introduce them. But you know, things don't happen the way that you play it out in your head. So when he told her, she come straight to me and she was like, "Oh, we need to talk." And then I never spoke to her again after that night. She told my dad, and I just have never spoken to her since. Yeah, she doesn't agree with it. She doesn't like it. She doesn't support it. It's what have you not. Which I would think that she should be like kind of norm. Like, I feel like it for her because she lives in Maryland in America. So I feel like it shouldn't be such a surprise, such a shock. Especially for the simple fact that we never grew up together. So it shouldn't affect you that much. But it affected her enough for her not to want anything to do with me. I always despised my ex for the simple fact that I didn't get to do it myself, or I never got a chance to have that coming out moment, because someone that I previously saw actually told me the importance of coming out, and when he said it now as an adult, I could understand it, but it's kind of been taken away from me, you know. So I'd always kind of have that little, I always despise him for that, because imagine someone not outing you. Can you imagine? Like, didn't even make any sense. But such is life. So, now, my dad is trying to get us to speak, okay? It's been 8 years, 9 years. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, when I say that, I know how I feel, but I don't know how to distinguish my feelings from my dad to her. When it comes to her, I have no feelings to whatsoever. It's been years. I've grown into a whole man. Like, Jesus Christ, you know, she doesn't know this person. I don't know who she is. And then my dad, the thing with African parents, right? It's like it's their way or the highway. Like, they speak about things, and a lot of the times they don't have any feelings towards what they're saying. They just speak it because they just want to be politically correct without actually sitting down and thinking about what they're saying before they open their mouth. And I get this a lot because my dad speaks and I don't think he hears himself, and he just feels like he's correct just because he's talking without sitting down and being like, you know what I'm saying actually doesn't make sense. You can't. We already whole adults. She's older than me, so she's like in her mid 30s. She's already married. She's married. She's got kids. Her daughter's like 15. Never met her daughter, and she's just a whole grown woman, married woman. You know, so you can't force two beings that never grew up with each other and has had that much separation to now be close. She's your sister. You have to talk to her. Now, number one, shouldn't he be telling her that? Considering she's the one that disowned me. I've always been who I am, and I will continue to be who I am. She's the one that doesn't like who I am. So I don't understand why he's forcing me to message her. Oh, your sister got COVID. This is a perfect time to talk to her. Okay, so did I. I had it. Like, because she had COVID, suddenly what is it meant to be shrieking a chill up my spine? Am I meant to care? It sounds horrible saying it out loud, but obviously I don't care because I've not needed to care. There's no emotional investment there to care about. We may have the same blood, but we're two separate beings. We don't know each other. Like, gosh, who is she? Oh my God, who is she? Who is she? I don't know. And frankly, I don't want to know because she already disregarded me and threw me in the bin, and forgetting that I'm a person, you know. Not like we had bad times. Every time she came, we had the best time. I was like so elated to have an older sister. Like, I could not believe it. I was so excited about it. We'd be silly. It was really nice, like the idea of it. And then when that happened, it just was so. That means nothing was genuine in the first place, you know. And the other day, so my dad phoned her because he gets into these little things when he's drunk, and she was talking, and she didn't realize that I was there. So he put her on loudspeaker and he goes, well, you know, I need you to start talking to your brother. You guys, I was lying on a chair minding my own business and she was bashing me from here to Timbuktu. Just bashing. And this man didn't feel no way to tell her off or to even put the phone down or to anything. Straight after that, he put the phone down and says, yeah, you need to talk to your sister. I'm just like, that was the time to be a parent, because if I was to do that and she was there, it would be a whole different ball game. It's okay. So I just want to let people know that just because you happen to be blood and it happens to be thick, it doesn't mean that you have to feel obliged to keep people in your life just for the sake of it, just because they're family, or just because you had good experiences, or just because people at the end of the day are people, and respect is universal. And if you don't feel like it's being reciprocated, then bye. You know what, having absentee family members, right? And maybe you're not. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your dad. Me, I don't really have a close relationship with my dad, because I choose when to see him and when not to see him my own self, and that's nothing to do with my sexuality. Even though he brings it up a lot now, but it's my own choice, because I just can't take him in a whole heap of doses. Like, I can only take him for a couple of hours, and then I'm already done. Like, I'm already done for the year. But when I think about a lot of people, like they because I'm not gonna lie, when everything happened, besides my feelings towards what my ex did, genuinely, I did miss. It went from sadness from her not being in my life, then to anger, and then after so many years, it's just like I wouldn't care. Like, I would walk past her in the street and not even look back, and not even feel a way to be doing and giving faces, or to even talk about it, because, well, I feel like we're strangers at this point. So um I will never allow um that relationship to justify why I need to keep people in my lives, or to validate other relationships, or why people should not be in my life, because I feel like a lot of people make excuses when things go wrong with people in their lives, and they use that excuse to validate, oh, this is why I don't do this is why I don't feel like this. You need to take your time and really get to know yourself as an adult, to know that not everyone here is for you, and sometimes it's just not family members. Not everyone here is meant to be here, you know. Not everyone here is meant to be here. Just because I'm related to you, it doesn't mean that we're meant to be close. And I hate that dumb mentality. Just because, oh, it's blood, you have to. For the sake of who? Like, I don't understand. Just because we're related, it doesn't mean that we need to be in each other's lives. I don't know you. You don't know me. So, you know how much cousins I've probably got around the world? Do you think if I found out about them, it would make me feel obliged to be any closer to them? Like, it's so hard at this point, being you having people there that have never been there before, and then you have to force yourself to get to know people all over again. And I'm at a point where I'm really done with that. Like, I'm very happy knowing the people that I know, and having my friendship circle the way it is, nice and small. You know, your life is precious, right? You need to prove why you deserve to be in my life, as well as me needing to show you why I deserve to be in yours, right? And that doesn't just go for when you're in these relationships with people, that goes for family members, including your mum and your dad. You need to be at a place where you're so happy within yourself and content by yourself that people just know how to add or contribute. Because in actual reality, parents are just a vessel. It sounds so bad. It's true though, because look how much people, yeah, live their lives and never speak to their parents. Never speak to them. And it's not because things happen, it's because you grow up and there's just no interest there. Like, yeah, you're my mom, you're my dad, I respect you, I love you. There's always got to be a love there, but you have to look at people as people, you know, and accept them for who they are, and you evolve, so you see things differently, and you have to understand some people will just never be any different from the person that they are. They're at the point of no return. That's who they're always going to be. So you accept it, or you move on. I think we put too much emphasis on why people act the way they do, and why they do the things they do, instead of just accepting people for who they are, you know. If that's what you do, if that's how you're going to move, then that's it. You have to choose for someone to be in your life or not, regardless of relation, regardless of blood and all of this rubbish. You have to choose it. So if someone's not in your life now and they haven't been for years, I don't understand the point of you needing to come in now. And I don't understand why I need to be fake in trying to get to know you, because I don't want to know you. And that's okay. It's okay to feel like that. But this society we live in make it feel like a bad thing, you know? There's some people that just don't get on with their parents. There's some people that just don't. And it's okay because you're individual people, you know? It's okay. You're not made to get on with your parents. You're not, it's not a necessity. It's not something that has to happen. Sometimes people just clash. And maybe you're just two people of the same that just clash, you know? So I just want people to take something from this video, that, you know, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad for not speaking to family members, or for my family members not speaking to you, or for relationships that didn't work. And if you've tried and tried and nothing's ever worked, sometimes just leave things alone and just move on with your life. Let's move on with your life. Stop having a life where you feel like you need people to be there. I need you to do this. If they've not done it and they haven't proved themselves worthy of doing it or showing it, and you haven't felt it, why are you gonna keep going over and over an emotion that has never even been there for you to feel? Sometimes you be that person for yourself. You need to be your own orb of energy, your own orb of happiness. People can come, contribute or not, but it doesn't take away the happiness you have and the love you have for yourself.